Steve, as you have now made space for me to lead our global team in this season, and I'm sure it's no longer secret, not that it was ever a secret, that we are in a season of transition.
Very much so.
But as you have just incredibly and generously made space for me to lead the work, particularly our team as we gather together, one of the things that we are in the process of establishing our task teams as Regions Beyond, which are ministries that are going to help shape and strengthen the work that we are doing across the nations, while also help us to really advance and go into different places where God is calling us to go. And these task teams will include task team on theology to ensure that our leaders are really strengthened in their understanding of the Bible, task team on next generation, task team on church planting, task team on business and the kingdom, and I can go on about these task teams, and we will be launching them officially at Convergence.
Wonderful.
And which is I'm really looking forward to that. But I've asked you because I know this is on your heart, to really champion and lead the one on raising the next generation.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that, because I know it's something that's on your heart?
Yeah, it was very early on in the start of my ministry, as I started to plant churches and lead, that I was theologically convinced by the story of Abraham and how he raised sons in his own household.
Yes.
And those words really caught my heart. And I thought, surely that is the answer to growing a movement, is that you raise sons in your household, sons, daughters. And so we began a journey there. And so over the years, we've put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah.
But particularly since COVID, as a global team, we made this a priority. And so on 2 occasions, we've gathered the next generations together and begun to teach and build a community and togetherness. However, I think we became aware that we're only scratching the surface, because everywhere I go in the world, people say, why were we left out? I think, well, oh, sorry, we didn't have the full measure.
Yeah.
And you suddenly realize that God has blessed us when it comes to the next generation.
Amazing.
I mean, it's just endless. And so when you asked me to pick up the task team, we've already begun, and we're starting to gather all the names so that we know right across our movement who we've got to teach, inspire. But it's not only imparting truth to them, it's activating them as well. It's amazing.
That is amazing. And it's also in the New Testament, you see that with Paul's ministry and how he is just raising up sons, isn't it? And he talks about Titus, and he talks about Timothy. He says, I have no one like him.
Yes.
And he sent me Titus, because that's really what thrills us as we go into the nations, is to see the work of Regions Beyond go from generation to generation. And even where we are right now, Steve, we are here in Cyprus with our New Frontiers family. And it's just amazing to see the likes of Terry, who handed over, in one sense, obviously, when we multiplied into multiple spheres, to you, which is another generation.
Yes.
And to see that work go to the next generation and the next generation after. I think raising up leaders, seeing next generation come through, is very much to see also the work of the kingdom keep expanding and go from place to place and nation to nation and generation to generation.
Good. I mean, we're seeing it, and so I'm overjoyed, and we'll put a lot of effort into it. In fact, I think when we look at where our funding will go next year, a lot of it is going to go into raising up the next generation, creating opportunities, training, mobilizing, sending. And so, I mean, it's a great joy. And I think for me, it gives me such confidence about the future.
Yes.
I am a grandfather. I have 4 grandchildren, but I also feel like a grandfather in Regions Beyond, because we just see the sons, the daughters being produced, time and time again. And it's fantastic. So,
And as you can see, Regions Beyond, what we are giving into, we're not just giving into just small initiatives here and there around the world, but we are giving into vision. we are giving into a work that's going to go on and bear fruit in different generations. And seeing the next generation come through, seeing people, couples in these generations move and go and bear fruit and open up new areas is what we are sowing into. God is on the move. Let's join him in our giving to see the fruitfulness of the gospel on display across the nations. That's what we're giving towards, and I'm really, really excited about that.